Show-san.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome
Can
to
you
this week's
restart,
edition
please?
of the Six Gaming.
Restart, please.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this week's edition of the Six Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, terribly Shosan. Yes, my internet is still shitty. However, I have some fantastic co-hosts that will be picking up the slack.
As
Hopefully, everything I
Well, no one
said
can
comes
pick me
through.
up, so.
Yep, Dan Drink. There it is. Fantastic. Up first, Mr. Runcley. Why don't you go ahead and say hello?
And I am not Mr. Slurpee.
No. But,
Out
hey,
of
if you guys
context.
didn't know, apparently 7-Eleven's giving away free Slurpee. I was just informed of this, but sadly, there's no 7-Eleven in North Dakota, so, yeah. I don't really...
There isn't any North Dakota.
No, not really. No. This state's terrible. But anyway, with us without a webcam, our very famous rocket scientist joining us again. Say hello.
How's it going? It's Brox. This rocket scientist broke his camera, or broke the laptop the camera's on, at least.
You know, the
So-
amazing thing is that in our little intro video that we did with you, we said that it takes a rocket scientist to operate a camera. Apparently, we need more than a rocket scientist.
Yeah, evidently. I mean, it really is rocket surgery to get this to work. So,
Sad but true. Of course, as always, our favorite planet joining the show. this
I'm
week.
not
Hi, Pluto.
Earth, you asshole.
That's right, Mr. Vegito. We love
Yeah,
having
no,
you.
Earth is the place you live on. I'm the place that you want to get away from.
Our own private hell. Well
on,
said.
on Tuesday, the probe's going to get to Pluto, and we're going to find out it's actually just veg. Floating out in
Very,
space.
very
You know
well
that bright
said.
spot? That's a pimple on his ass.
Oh,
Ugh.
oh.
There goes my night.
I'm done. GG.
Drop the
giant-
microphone.
That's just a lot of pus. Has to
Oh, good lord. Finally, our favorite gold farmer, Mr. Pantherian. Want to say hello?
Hey, I'm retiring from gold farming though, so you'll have to come up with something.
Yeah,
different.
we gotta find something new.
Well, okay, retired gold farmer. Done.
Right, retired gold farmer. The gold farmer
farmer.
formerly known as. All right, so let's kick things off as we always do with Yes No's. God, I'm excited. Okay,
Dan
Hey,
drinking
you're
his-
losing your fucking mind.
no. You ready for this?
Dude,
Because
this is awesome.
not only do I get to start the podcast off with one of my favorite games thus far, but let me set this up for you guys, and Ron, make sure that we capture this. Let me go.
On our website at facebook.com/6gaminggg.
Wait,
Would that be
Wait.
the one? Oh,
what is that?
hold on. Oh.
Oh
That is-
God,
that is
yes!
Harley
It's
Quinn's
Harley
ass.
Quinn's ass.
Booty.
Oh, Harley Quinn.
Booty, booty, booty.
Oh,
Okay.
heart.
There is no fapping on this podcast.
Sorry.
today.
Okay. I'm back.
Keep
Joe,
it in
did
your
you-
pants.
I'm sorry. I'm back.
Is there a hack like there was for Tomb Raider back in the day?
If there isn't, I will get to work here very quickly.
oh, yeah, and the best
Okay,
is
that-
the
that's-
expression on Batman's face there is like, yeah, I got this.
Right, hey, don't worry about this. I got it under control. Yeah, that's Harley Quinn, you guys. I finally found her. Oh.
jeez.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry, I'm back. Yeah, so
I'm
the
not
last
sure
few
about
weeks, I've been kind of dicking around in Arkham Knight. Haven't gotten to the part with Harley Quinn. Today, I got to her. Oh, and trust me, as you guys can see from the picture, I got her.
You
that.
got her, all right.
I don't know who I feel
I
worse
got her.
for, Batman for picking her up or for Harley Quinn for countless men staring at her ass.
And well, here's the thing: Harley was beating me the whole time. Oh,
That's what she
NSFW.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. She was pounding on my back because you picked.
Whoa,
up
whoa,
and-
whoa, whoa. This is way too much
Yeah,
for this podcast.
this is getting crazy.
Out
So
of
anyway,
context,
Harley
that's-
Quinn pounding his back. Oh, jeez.
Oh, it was beautiful, you guys. You have to play this game. It was amazing. Anyway, let's go to something a little more relevant.
And PG rated.
Let's talk about the DLC for Arkham Knight on the PC has suspended because of all these troubles. Yes, you guys, Warner Brothers still has not fixed these issues. Oddly enough, the game runs really well for me from time to time. Occasionally, the whole game just crashes for like no reason. Really frustrating.
How's your frame rate inside the Batmobile? As I've heard, that's one of the worst parts of it.
Actually, it's really good. In the Batmobile, I'm pushing 40 to 50. In the game itself, I'm pushing 60 to 70. However, I have the what do you call it? The AMD R9, the 200 series. It's a pretty beefy card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So without that, I don't think I'd be able to push what I'm pushing now. However, if you guys haven't picked this up, I would really recommend the console. A lot of the console issues have been, but yeah. So Kotaku recently put out the article though that WB is delaying the future DLC right now until they iron out the issues with the main.
Yeah,
game.
it sounds like there's just so many problems with it right now for the PC.
Did you guys talk last week about how it turned out that WB knew about the problems for like months leading up to launch and then launched it anyway?
Yeah, they didn't care. They were like, oh, we need
glanced over
money.
it. We glanced over it real quick because I wasn't able to find a whole lot of.
I don't think we talked about this. I don't remember talking about that.
I thought we
Yeah,
glanced
so
over
that's
it.
just you know, to make things worse for them. They knew there were problems, and then they're like, yeah, it'll be okay.
Yeah, but
Well-
to WB's defense, it was the QA testers that were telling him that, and well, nobody listens to QA testers. So
No, they don't.
You would never
Well,
do that.
And in WB's defense, though, I mean, this is exactly what happened to like every Assassin's Creed to ever launch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Ubisoft isn't much better. So I don't know. I can't
It's
really
just-
slam them too
I've
hard.
almost come to accept it these days with or expect it these days with PC releases of anything
Yeah.
day one. I
Yeah,
mean, it's not going to be great.
That's why you
Sadly-
don't pre-order a game.
Yeah,
Ever.
that's why you just wait for Game of the Year edition, get all the DLC with it, and by that time, hopefully, it's patched enough to work.
That's $5.
I cannot subscribe to your guys' thing. When I find a game that I have to play it, and I will get it.
That's what
You
consoles
know
are
what
for.
I mean? And sadly, we are still the PC gaming master race. All hail. However, a lot of companies. So we're not as great as we once were. And wow, do I just feel like Hitler right there? I'm done.
What?
Done. That's
We're
it.
like 10 minutes into the podcast, and already Godwin's law is in effect.
God would.
Yeah, I mean, that's it for me.
Are you gonna start talking about the 3-year-old soon?
No, we're done with that. She
He
went off
finished
to.
with the 3-year-old already.
Okay, Dan, no.
You know, look, in my defense, she went to her grandmother's house. Okay, her father is going to another base, and I don't get to play with her anymore. Moving on. All right.
As it should.
Yeah.
It's called a restraining order.
Right. We'll do the NSFW of the podcast later, and you guys can hear all about my experiences. So, all right, Ron, let's talk about one of your favorite games that we have going on. I hear that there's something going on with Crypto the Necrodancer.
Yeah, Crypto the Necrodancer is coming to the PlayStation 4, and it launched in April on PC, and that's all flavors: Linux, Mac, Windows. And they're going to release it for both the PlayStation 4 and the Vita.
Oh God,
they're
like
not
we
saying
don't have
when it's
enough
gonna happen.
Crypt.
They're not going to say when it's going to happen, but they're like adding some additional music. Like there's going to be a remix of some Shovel Knight music in it.
Yeah.
But you know they can't confirm any features yet. But the PC versions currently can be played with a dance pad. No word if any dance pads will be.
Jesus. So this game has officially become DDR combined with Diablo, basically.
Combined with I don't know, it's more roguelike.
Okay. Still, I don't need
DD
another DDR
roguelike.
game.
It's Dance Revolution DDR.
DDR-like.
Right. That's a good. Fuck it. We have a new genre.
Yes.
You know,
It's a fun game. I highly recommend it. I'm still playing it.
I don't know. I've fallen out of love of the rhythm games. I don't know.
This one's
That's just
different.
me.
one's
I'm
different.
too busy dealing with Harley Quinn. So
Yes. That's perfectly understandable.
right. Okay. Now, in some very interesting news that just recently came out, apparently a new Mario movie is not out of the question. That's right,
well,
not out of the question.
Does this mean they're
This
doing anything?
this sounds a lot like the Blizzard coming soon. But we'll discuss.
I wonder if
Blizzard
this,
here.
I wonder if this is like the Half-Life 4 or 3 coming out.
Honestly, who knows? Personally, and we said this in the podcast, sadly, our original Mario is no longer with us. Rest his soul. But we still have John Leguizamo. That means we still have a good Luigi potential.
Yeah, but you got to figure that this is
Really, crickets?
Nintendo's first non-Pokemon movie since 1993, which, by the way, was Super Mario Brothers.
They're gonna find a way to make it as Nintendo as possible, like everything else they do.
I hope so. I mean, of all
I hope it's
things,
nothing like
Mario
the
has
original
some
movie.
potential to be good.
Retcon that damn movie.
But we have to remember. They said someone asked them, "Is a Mario movie out of the question?" And they said, "No." I mean, that's
Right.
not. Are you making a Mario movie? You could ask, "Is there another Dark Crystal movie?" And they might say, "We tried to make one and it didn't work out, but maybe we'll make one someday." Like, you can say that about any movie, any series, anything, as long as they haven't specifically decided to kill the IP.
Yeah, it was a passive statement. They didn't say yes or no.
Yeah, but the fact that they're talking about it at all, I mean,
I
that
think,
says volumes.
but just like he said though, Penn, they didn't say yes or no. They were asked by somebody else, so it very well could be, yeah, it's in the future, or we could do it, but we're not going to. It was really neutral and really passive.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be cool to see, animated or otherwise, hopefully. Okay, so I mentioned earlier Blizzard's soon. That's right, we have air quotes.
TM.
Okay, so the new Warcraft movie, yeah, oh, I'm so excited. BlizzCon is actually getting ready to
So
happen.
excited your internet sucks.
And my internet's terrible.
It's
so-
terrible. It's terrible.
BlizzCon's getting ready to happen, and ahead of that, Blizzard has put out some teaser posters for the new Warcraft movie. Do you guys watch this show on History Channel? I think it is called Vikings.
No.
Well, my wife was very quick to point this out, but
We're gamers,
apparently
dude. We
the-
don't care about history.
right,
Unless it's in a game.
I don't either, but well, apparently the guy who's in that show is playing Luther, and he is hosted on that picture. I've got it up on my timeline, and we will work to get on the Six Gaming Facebook
Is that a hint?
post real quick. What's that?
Is that a hint?
That's kind of a hint.
That's kind of a hint? Okay.
That's kind of a hint. So yeah, it's looking really, really cool. Now, of course, Blizzard did say that come BlizzCon, we are going to get some movies. At the very least, some teaser stuff. I don't know, you guys. I'm pretty excited for this.
Yeah, this is going to be a major movie. What pisses me off is that they showed the trailer today.
Oh, they did? I didn't
Comic-Con,
see- Yeah.
but they're not going to release it until November. The
Bastard.
rest of us are not going to get to see it for 4 months.
Someone's gonna post
Yeah.
it. It's gonna
Oh,
leak.
I hope
it'll
so.
leak. Yeah.
Get better.
Oh.
Shows on number
That'd be
5.
good. So, yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how the new Warcraft comes out. I am excited for it. I'm positive you guys as well. But yeah, that's going to be really, really awesome. Now, here's my thing though. The only thing about this movie that I've noticed is they're doing a lot of this live action and CG stuff. I've never been a fan of that because the live actors, you can obviously tell that they're trying to interact with a double or a stand-in, and then they'll animate over that. Really, the best version of that I have ever seen was out of Star Wars with Han Solo interacting with Jabba the Hutt. But what's your guys' take on it?
They need to hurry up.
You know what happened?
Really, that's it? That's the best you got?
That's the best
With-
bet chance.
Yeah.
With the Jabba and Han Solo thing, if you go back, I think it's in the special edition
Could be, yeah.
extras, but they're talking about how they recorded the scene of Han Solo talking to Jabba before they did Return of the Jedi, but they didn't know Jabba was going to be a giant slug at the time. So if you look at the thing, he steps on Jabba's tail or something.
Right.
And it's because it was the stand-in was just like this big guy who looked like he was some kind of traitor or something.
Yeah, it looked like he was wearing this big furry coat.
Yeah, and so he walked behind him, and obviously you can't walk behind Jabba the Hutt because there's a big tail. So they had to edit the movie to make it look like he stepped on his tail.
Wow.
So
I gotta go back and watch this. I got it all on Blu-ray. That whole box set that come out.
I have it on VHS, so I can't go watch it right now.
Even better. Punch up first. Anyway, wow. Okay, you guys, that does a news section. We are really like this.
Whoa, we got LOL. LOL.
Wow,
Oh, we do have
that's
LOL.
part of news.
LOL, that's part of news.
Oh, God. Okay, you guys, this brings us to our League of Legends news. Yes, I am still excited for this. I have no idea why. However, Frat Boys Drink. Ron, what's going on in League of Legends?
TSM's getting their ass kicked.
Oh, wait, Ron, real quick. Ron, you got to do the camera roll of everybody else taking a drink because, let's be real, we got plenty of us to drink.
Well, I mean, there's only two of you, and
Well, three.
No, you're just an alcoholic.
There's
so
only
that's
two of
what
you
I'm
on
alcoholic.
camera.
Fuck it. Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right.
I know
anyway,
Rox is
Kind of
drinking.
pointless.
all right. League
Yeah.
of Legends.
But yeah, TSM in the last 2 weeks they have lost in consecutive games to Gravity and Team 8. That puts them at 9-4, which is a game back of Gravity. Gravity currently owns first place in the NALCS.
Hey, that's the complete opposite of what they were during Spring Split.
I know, right? So there's that. And then in the EU LCS, Fnatic's having no such problem. They are still undefeated, 14-0, the best start to an LCS. How about that?
That's actually really crazy. Yeah.
The other 2 weeks from a perfect record in the regular season.
Really?
That's not been done before.
Wow.
The closest
And-
I've got was 5-3. So
And then also League released a new champion this week as well.
correct, Tom Kench. I think we talked about him last week.
Who? Wait, what?
Tom Kench, the guy
Oh.
that swallows champions. We talked about.
Yeah,
him last
we did talk about that last week. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very interesting to play.
week. Mhm.
He,
just likes
he's
eating
like he's
people.
my champion. Yes.
Of course, he's your champion because you like eating people too.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I've so
makes
far
sense.
have the best thing I've ever done was I made someone rage quit because I literally nommed them and threw them into the turret and they died. They couldn't do anything
Nice.
about it.
Well done. So I mean, that's it. I mean, there's not a whole lot going on. It's Fnatic's owning over there. They're one game, by the way, from clinching first place.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? One game?
Yes. If they
Wow.
win one more game, they are
Oh.
guaranteed first place. Origin
Good,
is
hopefully.
second, 10-4.
Let them have it, man. Let them have it. I am all for it. More points. More points.
Freaking fantasy
Yes.
crap.
So, all right. So let's talk about that.
No, we're not.
What the hell is
talking-
going on here? Come on, let's talk about it. Who's winning, Ron? Who's up?
Coles is
The
winning.
potential is winning. He's 5-1.
Yeah. What the fuck? Like seriously.
It's amusing because Show has the most points out of the four of us.
Yeah. I do not understand it at all.
Well, don't feel too bad, Ron. Ron's in dead last
Yeah.
Well,
long shot.
yeah.
with no hope of. What did you do this split?
Well, hold
I
on.
don't know,
Before we
man.
go there, you weren't here last week, but I actually substituted some of my guys. I had to get rid of them. They were fucking terrible this season, and suddenly I'm up against Rock. Excellent.
Yeah. Screw you. I'm done talking about it.
Oh, come on. All right. So, I think that's just about it for news, you guys. Does anyone else have anything they want to add? No?
No,
Crickets?
it's just I don't know what's going on, but I've heard like Lizard Squad or something like that going on, like around in certain random news articles.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was they caught the guy that said he wasn't gonna get caught.
Oh, did they?
See, okay, here's the thing. So, for those of you guys who aren't into security and hacking and all that, you have white hat and you have black hat hackers. The white hats are the good guys, right? They only infiltrate networks when they have permission. They take notes and then they present those notes back to the company or whoever hired them to secure their network. And then you have the black hats. Black hats are your malicious guys. They go in, do all kinds of crazy shit. They destroy things, steal data, blah, blah, blah. So what I've noticed throughout the years is any time a black hat person says, I'm never going to get caught, that's pretty much an open invitation. Am I wrong? I mean,
no, they're just throwing the gauntlet at that point, and
right.
Inevitably it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right, and it's disturbing. But I don't know. Apparently I'm the only one studying to be a white hat anyway. So.
I don't know. I read InfoSec Taylor Swift on Twitter. I know securities.
Okay, good man. No, I'm actually in a course. It's called Certified Ethical Hacking.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm trying to get through these books, but Jesus, it's intense, man. There's a lot of stuff in there I had no idea about.
And it seems to change like month to month. I mean, new exploits come out, and you just got to learn how they happen. I mean, it's insane.
I do not understand how people can keep up with these 0-day exploits. It blows my mind. But all right, you guys, that is going to do it for our news section, of course, which is going to push us on our 6th gaming roundtable. Now, this week
What?
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 Oh, you're right.
It's not like we haven't been doing this for 22 weeks.
Yeah, you are 100%. But here's the problem: is
He's drunk. That's the problem.
This is my 5th one.
Okay.
And as you guys can.
No, whoa. I thought you said it was your 6th.
Hey,
no,
No.
5th.
hey,
Did I say
Pen,
6th?
Clearly said 6th.
hey, Pence, do you have your scotch with you? You have scotch?
Drink.
Hey, well, I've got a bourbon, so you know what that makes it.
Oh,
Three drinkers.
1 bourbon, 1
One
scotch,
And one
and
beer.
1 beer.
And one beer. Great song. Okay.
Well
So-
done, guys. Well
Moving
done.
on.
Moving on. Okay, so let's do our gaming section, which is, of course, what the hell each of us is playing, and whether or not we recommend this crap. So, real quick, I've already hit it. I'm playing the shit out of Batman. Love Batman, you guys. Harley Quinn.
Okay, come back.
Okay. Sorry, I'm back. Arkham Knight. It's amazing if you can deal with the problems. And there are a lot of problems. Of course, I just started a brand new tune, go figure, in Star Wars. Got that sucker up to 12. I'm hoping to be 30 by the end of Monday, I'm thinking. But that's just me. Star Wars is amazing, you guys. They made some pretty impressive improvements.
Did they fix their mini-map?
Not in the least, actually.
God.
The
That
mini-map
thing's
is
a
still a
giant
mini-map.
Clusterfuck. It was worse than Terra's.
Well, it's pretty. I mean, it's a little bit cleaner. Like they eliminated a lot of the junk and stuff, but it's still.
It was
rough
like
way to
Apple
say.
Maps when Apple Maps was first made.
Oh, man, that was
Google
Yeah,
terrible.
needs to take over and fix it.
It was pretty bad. I played beta of Star Wars, and I played at launch, and then I just kind of quit, and I went back to WoW. But I'm back. Damn it. I got into a fantastic guild, by the way. I'm not dropping any names yet, because I don't know how they feel about all this, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. Highly recommended, you guys, especially since I'm swearing off WoW, more or less. Still rating, but yeah. Anyway, Mr. Brox, what the hell have you been playing, man?
So since the last time I was on the podcast, I've acquired a new 3DS. So this time it's not your old 3DS. So the new 3DS XL, kind of to replace my old 3DS. And yeah, it goes along with everything I've said before on the podcast, just talking about it, and that it really is the most Nintendo thing possible. It took me 2 hours just to transfer my data and games from the old one to the new one.
So this is the new 3DS.
The new 3DS.
Okay.
The one that's somehow more better, and really it comes like a little nub on the right side for an extra analog stick and extra shoulder buttons. So
really, extra shoulder buttons.
Yeah, it's got 2 extra shoulder buttons on there.
Damn it, I gotta upgrade now.
Nothing.
There's a few games on the
You like hit them with your shoulder, like, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, nothing really uses those extra shoulder buttons yet, except for Smash Brothers and Xenoblade.
We got the facepalm from Show.
Really?
I think just
Really?
holding it because
Anyway.
the lights are getting bright.
So I've been going back and playing a lot of my 3DS stuff, and started playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3D, which requires a new 3DS. So that one's really good, but really been focusing a lot on Bravely Default. Now, I've highly recommended Bravely Default in the past. I thought it was a fantastic game. I mean, it's like a Final Fantasy and everything but name.
Right.
Now I'm 70 hours into it on Chapter 8, and I'm having a hard time recommending it to people anywhere past Chapter 4. Because everything I've read is literally, okay, so you beat your 4 main bosses, you beat up to 20 optional bosses, and then you get to do it all over again 4 more times.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, literally the same bosses and the same mini-bosses.
Diablo.
Right.
Kind of, yeah, similar. Except, you don't get any better loot from doing it again.
You're on the American version, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because, we talked about this in an earlier podcast, that game had to be edited because I guess the sprites and everything else were too racy for American viewers, so they had to put more clothes on.
Exactly. I can see where that comes from. And, I mean, luckily playing through it, going through the bosses, I've already, before I even got to the point where I'm just, it's Groundhog Day the game, it got to the point where I was level 99 and mastered all my jobs. So, I mean, I'm steamrolling through the bosses, and you can set it so there's no random encounters. So now it's just literally taking the 10 minutes to walk through each dungeon, get to the boss, smack him dead in about 5 turns and move on. So
yeah,
just before the podcast, I was finally finishing up on the bad ending of the game, and hopefully we'll get the good ending by the end of the night tonight. Hopefully get the good ending, and I can put it away and say, okay, I've done it, and hopefully the Bravely Second is not Groundhog Day the game as well.
Not unheard of.
God.
But then, other than that, also in that time period, since I retired from WoW for the time being, went through and finally finished Assassin's Creed 2, and thought the ending was so awesome, went out and picked up the rest of the Ezio trilogy, so Brotherhood and Revelations, and Cicerone Brotherhood, and it's pretty good. The story really kind of hooked me towards the end of Assassin's Creed 2.
Brotherhood is an amazing game, and if you guys haven't done that, it was the coup de grace of Assassin's Creed. Yeah, it was well worth the money.
It was the beginning of it has been pretty interesting in that it definitely uses the old trope of, well, you're pretty awesome at the beginning of the game, and then something happens, you lose everything, and you start out powerless again.
Wait,
I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
You play Metroid?
Yeah, I've played all the Metroids. It reminded me a lot of Metroid in that respect. Like, hey, cool, it's
exactly.
It's the beginning of the game, and I've got my awesome armor, and I've got 35 hit points, and wait a second, what just happened?
Assassin's Creed 1, Metroid, Prototype.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it.
So yeah, so that's been pretty much it. Having fun with the new 3DS.
Fun. Is it any faster, by the way? Because I've been contemplating. But
it is a lot faster. I mean, on my old 3DS, playing Smash Brothers, if I hit I just call it the home button. I don't know what Nintendo calls it. Probably like Nintendo something.
It is the home button.
Yeah, the home button. On my original 3DS, which is the launch day 3DS, it would take about 3 or 4 seconds before it finally got to the home menu. This one, it's almost instant, which is really nice. I mean, it's definitely a lot faster boot up, and the 3D is flawless. The old one, you had to hold it at just the right angle in order to have the 3D halfway work, and I'd still see a lot of ghosting on it. New
Oh, yeah.
3DS actually has a little infrared LED next to the camera, and so it's always tracking your eye position.
Oh, that's
So
crazy.
from that,
That's
the 3D, you can tilt the screen any which way, and for the most part, it does a good job of keeping the parallax going, so that way the 3D effect doesn't get broken.
See,
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I love the 3D games. I really, really do. But
The only caveat
like
to
you
that,
said, you had to have it specific.
exactly. The only caveat to that is if you're in a very, very dark room, playing and just in a room with no lights on, it can have a hard time, especially if you turn your head away for a second and come back. It's going to jump around a lot trying to find your eyes again. Or
Well,
if
you
your
need
eyes
to-
are kind of squinty.
You need a light
That's pretty
boy.
neat technology.
Exactly.
Right.
So, but other than that, the 3D is a lot better. On the old 3DS, I found myself turning the 3D very low or almost off just because it was so hard to get past the ghosting and hard to hold
Yep.
it at just the right angle and the right distance
Yeah.
away. This one doesn't matter what, even on an airplane, like in turbulence, no problem playing 3D the
Interesting.
entire time.
Yeah, I turn it off since I'm playing like Smash Brothers and stuff like that. You have to. Like, you cannot forgive that system. So that'll be interesting. I think I might get it.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's definitely worth it. It's just be prepared for a lot of frustration transferring everything from your old one to your new one.
Yeah, pretty standard. So,
So.
all right. Let's see. Veg, what the hell have you been playing, man? Talk to us.
I've been playing quite a bit. As you guys know, I unsubscribed from WoW as well. I'm done for that for obvious reasons. I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy XIV in the expansion that they've been playing or that they came out with. It's been a lot of fun. They actually make that game really hard as hell to play. It's frustrating almost at times to play as a tank because of tank reasons.
See, I've heard that game is pretty dependent on having a team, and so it's hard to play through it without a team.
Yeah,
That's all-
Kathy was telling me earlier that her experience as a healer is that threat is a real thing,
That's
whereas
weird, though.
you can lose it very fast.
Well, that's because for some reason a lot of I've been noticing this a lot lately is that once I know that I'm fine on threat and I'm dodging a lot, healers will start DPSing, and then for some reason in that game, healers have better threat than tanks do.
Yeah, she's a healer, which is why she notices it.
Oh, good lord.
Oh my god, it's so annoying. It's Terra all over again for that. It's not,
Which reminds me, I wanted to bring up something. She's probably gonna smack me for this. Her
Oh, wait for
character
it.
class that she's playing is a white mage.
yeah.
Her character is not white.
Oh, there it is. There's the sword. I knew it was coming.
Hit him harder.
I don't get it. What is so white about her mage?
Her spells are white, you jackass.
Never played a Magic the Gathering game in his.
No, he has
White.
not.
Yes, I have. In fact, no, go.
Go in the corner.
I'll get to that one. It's my
Still,
turn.
Wait, what are we
Ron,
talking
I
about?
gotta give
Magic?
it to you, man. That was pretty good. There it is. Hell yeah.
Uh-oh.
Foil even. Very nice.
Yeah.
If you don't have a Black Lotus,
Well,
Yeah,
no
you're
shit. There's
screwed.
only like what 10.
I have a Lotus Veil somewhere, but that's not much.
Anyway, I've been playing a crap ton of that. They just released they unlocked the raid for it. That's hard as hell. I can't wait for the 24-man when they come out with that. And then on top of it, Terraria this week also released their patch. And if you guys have never played Terraria, it's $20. It's worth it. And with Terraria, their patches they only come out like maybe half a year.
Oh,
more
maybe
than that.
like-
It's been more than a year since 1.2.
it still feels like
But
Minecraft.
They
though.
like doubled
I
the
feel
size
good.
of the game.
Yeah, every time that they
God.
make patches, they double the size. They add
Start playing
quadruple
again.
the inventory space that you wish you wanted. Anyway,
Interesting.
I've been noticing you've been playing it, and I've been wondering why, and now I see they just, they released.
yeah, they
that.
just released the patch, and they
And I understand you can play online now.
yeah. Well, no, you've always been able to play online.
No, I mean on Steam.
Yes,
using
you can-
Steam servers versus.
Yes, you can.
Local.
And yeah, well, it's not even local. It's just IP. You have to find someone's. Basically, you have to connect how you connect the road.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, you
they're
connect
just
through their IP and their
facilitating
port.
the
Yeah.
server.
Oh god, going old
Got it.
school.
Yeah, you gotta do it old school with that if you want to join a multiplayer server. Now you can actually join through someone else's Steam if they allow it.
Yeah, got it.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I've been
Anything
playing.
else?
I've also been playing GTA 5 a bit here and there for the second part of Ill-Gotten Gains. It kind of pisses me off because this is literally the I have hundreds of millions of dollars to fucking spend for no reason expansions.
Hashtag first world
No,
problems.
it's hashtag robbing bitches problems.
Wow.
Well
But
said.
it's fun. They added a couple new guns, crap ton of cars, and I think there's a new heist. I haven't really touched that one yet. But we're still waiting for you, by the way, show for whenever your internet stops being a piece of shit, so we can do all the heists.
Exactly, man. I can't do shit. So. All right.
That's it for me.
Let's see. Mr. Brox.
What's up?
Oh wait, we already talked.
Yeah, we already talked to me. Coming to the beer,
Let's move on
Yeah.
to Mr. Pantherian, sir.
Well, as I said today, or as I showed today, I went to the Magic Origins pre-release. I got this is my promo card. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
And
Yeah, no kidding.
got a couple really good cards. Went 2-2, and so that turned out pretty well. Still playing Witcher 2. Still playing South Park. Been playing a little bit of this game called One Finger Death Punch. I don't know.
You really
I've heard
should.
of it. I never played it.
You really should talk more about the games you're playing.
Well, I've talked about those before, so I didn't want to go too far into it.
And that's what I love about Pent. He's like, yeah, let's move on.
Nah, I'm an engineer, so I'm trying to be efficient.
Right. Done and over.
I haven't done a whole lot on Witcher or South Park because I'm out of town, so I don't have anything to talk about in my progress on that. But I will talk about One Finger Death Punch, which is a fun game I picked up during the Steam sale just on a whim. If you remember back in probably late 90s, early 2000s, and I don't remember the name, I think it was called Zao Zao. It was the stick fighting. It was like flash animation. It was like stick figures beating the crap out of each other. And so One Finger Death Punch is basically there's only two keys you use, the left mouse button and the right mouse button. Or if you have a controller, you can use X and B. You can probably use arrow keys or something too.
Right.
And like you're the guy in the middle, and stick figures approach from the left and the right, and when they get within your range, you hit either the left mouse button or the right mouse button, and you kill them. And then, like as you go in, guys get more life, or they become like they're dodgers. So like they're on the right side, and when you attack them on the right side, they move to your left side. So then you have to hit that. You have to go right left or left right or left left right or whatever. And there's weapons, and some of the levels are you have to kill 45 guys before time runs out, or just before they kill you, or you only have one life and you have to kill a bunch of guys. There's a bunch of different game modes, and you get different skills and stuff. But a level usually takes about a minute, so it's just fun to. It's almost like a mobile game, but it's on Steam and it's only a couple bucks. So I recommend that as a fun little time sink if you only have.
No, I have to point this out here. One Finger Death Punch has a website. It's called silverdollargames.com. This is the worst website I've ever seen. Because all it is Silver Dollar Games, One Finger Death Punch, link to PC version, link to the Xbox version, link to Facebook, Twitter, contact us. Literally no graphics or anything. It's just
I think this was originally like on Armor Games or Newgrounds or something, and then they ended up selling it. And it might be free somewhere else, but it was for $2 or whatever I got it on sale for. It was worth it.
Cool.
Interesting. All right. Let's see. That leaves us with Mr. Runkley. What have you been doing, man?
Hold on a second. I'm trying to put a face palm in there. That works.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah, we both
interacting
we
with
did the same
chat,
one.
guys.
Hold on. All right. So unfortunately, I haven't done a whole lot this week. I've been playing, of course, Crypt of the Necrodancer. We've been talking about that a bit. I haven't gotten any
Ron, were you playing
scores.
it as always?
No, because I care about your health and don't want you to die of alcohol poisoning this episode.
Okay.
World of Warcraft, we actually did a heroic raid today, and it sucked. It was very bad. So,
Which
Well,
raid?
were you healing or tanking?
I was DPSing.
Oh, ugh.
Yeah. So it was pretty bad. But of course, the main thing I want to talk about, of course, I won't be here next week unless something happens. But I am going to go to the Denver 20th anniversary Descent LAN. Going to be leaving here Wednesday for that. So I'm very pumped about that.
Nice.
Descent
Yeah.
Underground guys. No idea if I'm going to be able to get to talk to them for the podcast.
I hope so,
but
though.
yeah, we'll see about that. One of the things that I wanted to also bring up, and I have not played this yet because I've been having trouble downloading it on my phone, but Wizards of the Coast put out Magic Duels for the iOS.
That's been out.
Well, the
Has it?
newest version.
Yeah.
The Origins one.
1.0.
It's the
It's
Origins.
brand new.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I'm thinking of that one.
Yeah, so I downloaded that. I'm going to check it out, see if it's any good, and I'll report
I mean,
back.
it's man, you can't go wrong.
So that's it. I mean, that's, like I said, pretty light week for me.
All right.
that's on
Let's
Steam.
see. Okay, so that's going to move us on to our sixth gaming label, one of my favorite opportunities. What?
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I didn't forget anything this time. Okay, so let's talk about this. I have a question for you guys.
Benj
Now,
has a question for us.
This was presented by Veg, but it's very, very interesting. Okay, so with the recent trends in VR technology, do you think that we will have virtual reality MMOs? And in the future, do you think those VR experiences will be tied to our nerves in a way that you will be able to play literally in the game through your movements instead of just in real life?
Yes, the Power Glove's coming back.
Oh, it's
I mean,
so
that's-
bad.
That's the question. I
Hey,
mean,
you just keep your power gloves off her, pal.
right? Well done. Well done.
Oh, great reference, Dan.
Yeah. So
You have to drink for that.
Brock started it.
right. So here's my take on this. Did you guys watch one of the more recent South Park? They did the Oculus Rift.
Mm-mm.
No.
It was hilarious. They combined Total Recall in the Oculus Rift, where and I can't even say that because it was like Total Recall meets Inception meets the Oculus Rift. So basically gets the Oculus Rift, but he teaches Butters that the real world is actually a simulation and that he can do whatever he wants, right? But then it ends up that it was Cartman in the simulation. But wait, no, it wasn't Cartman, it was Stan in the simulation. No. It was, XYZ. They kept going forever. But it was interesting because, again, as they did in that show, it was very much, you have full control over your motions and what you do, but what you did while you were in the game had consequence. To put that in perspective, let's say you have an Oculus Rift on your head and you decide to flip out wildly like that, you end up destroying shit. So I don't know if I agree with it entirely. That's just me. So, Brox, what's your take here?
I don't know. I mean, especially with I guess you call it. I'm more of on the nerve side of things, like natural motion as a controller. That's actually a big part of what I do at work right now is looking into that, and definitely we're a long ways off in terms of that technology, but it is promising, especially when you include that with VR. It gets real interesting. One of the main problems is also you got to find a way for, let's say, for just walking around. I mean, there's really not the tech out there to. You still have to have some sort of controller in your hand, I think, in order to move around in the game world.
No. They have a device. It's like a big treadmill that spins 360 degrees. Like you said, you still need a controller, but there is that interface. face.
There is that. There's still, like I said, I think it's about at least 5 years off to have something like that.
Oh,
if
easy.
if not more than that. But it's very promising, and it could very easily lead into, like, say, the holodeck or whatnot, where you look at gaming addiction now, and then you look at what would happen if you're in a completely immersive environment in VR, where your actions that you're doing are being recreated in the game, and it's going to be real interesting to see where this leads to. Definitely if it's done right, it'd have new kinds of experiences that we haven't even thought of yet. But if it's done wrong, it could be interesting.
And that was a big thing with the Oculus. They said we don't want to release this product until we get it right.
Exactly. And then with the Oculus, the big thing with them is, they've lowered the latency so much in terms of how it reacts to movement and whatnot, that it's worlds better than anything else that's come out before that, and that's really kind of their selling point.
Right.
And so they kind of nailed that. But then again, they've also got John Carmack working for them, so it doesn't surprise me that. So.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. All right, so Bedge, you posted this question, and so what's your whole take on this?
Well, what really got me thinking about it, funny enough, was a couple animes. There's Log Horizon that's coming out, or is out right now, and then there's also Sword Art Online. If you haven't watched either of them, basically what Sword Art is, it's kind of I would like to say sci-fi horror, just in a little bit, just for the simple fact that these people log into this game and they can't log out because of this person who did it, so they're forced to fight through the game to get into it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of scary in that aspect that once you're connected into that, and if you get it unplugged, you could die.
Interesting.
Because that's messing with your nervous system. But the reason why they couldn't, and spoiler alert, is that if you find out in the first episode anyway, is that it has like a battery, whatever, and he can overcharge it. If you die in the game, you die in real life.
Yeah.
So it fries your brain with my.
Die
What
in
was that?
Canada. Die in real life.
Well, and again, they brought this exact idea up in The Matrix. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When you're in the Matrix, if you die in the Matrix, you die in real life. You're fucked. But
All I heard was blah blah blah. You're fucked.
all right. I brought up the comparison Matrix.
But what I thought about was because of the Oculus Rift and how good that is getting. You get visions like that, or like screens like that, but even better, almost to where you can feel like you're touching something with the Nerve gear, and then you're visualizing it with that gear that's basically going into your retinas and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like you're jacking in. I mean, it's you're controlling everything through your thoughts, nervous impulses, stuff like that.
As long as you're not jacking off.
That too. I walked right into that
I
one.
was really
Hold on.
But hey, it's like VHS versus beta. I mean, that's what's going to determine what becomes the dominant player, whether it's Oculus or whatnot. Whatever the porn industry goes to is going to be the winner.
That's why Blu-ray won't do.
And actually, it should be whatever the porn industry and Disney usually becomes a winner, which is weird because
Princess porn movies, that's not what we need right now.
Well, and that's just it. Polar fucking opposites. But anyway, all right, Ron, what's your take?
Well, I think that we would be doing ourselves an in-service by not talking about Star Trek's holodeck.
Yeah, I mean, it's relevant.
I mean, the first thing that came to mind when I heard this question was the episode Elementary, Dear Data, where Data is playing Sherlock Holmes, and Forge asks the computer to create a program capable of defeating Data. Well, the computer knows that Data's this badass android and comes up with something that ends up taking over the whole ship. Stuff like that. So
yeah,
I think we're definitely a long way off from something like that, but something like that's probably the end game for this.
Doesn't Moriarty end up being able to get off the holodeck?
No, I think
explain
that's
why.
a second episode.
Oh, okay.
There's another episode with him. So,
interesting.
But yeah.
All right,
So
well,
I mean, it's how we get there is something. It's not something we can answer right now, obviously, but
I mean, scientists have been working on hologram memory for quite some time, actually.
Yeah.
So it's said to almost quadruple what we have right now, as long as we can get it to a consumer level.
Yeah. So, it's, I mean, we got the HoloLens coming up from Microsoft, which is, literally puts Minecraft on your coffee table.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, this is all just stuff inside.
That would be
device.
horrifying. Just you're paying no mind. A fucking creeper comes out of your coffee table. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little weird. All right, so I of course saved the engineer for last. So, what's your take on this, Pantherian?
Pantherian's not the engineer.
I'm an engineer.
Yeah, they're both
He's the
engineers.
engineer. Both are. That's right.
He's
Yeah,
a rocket scientist.
Yeah.
I make tools for brain surgeons.
exactly.
I'm not
I-
actually a
I-
brain surgeon.
IR engineer good too.
I does math good.
Math,
Pretty much.
but not English.
Penth, what's your take, man?
I think we're heading that way. I think it's one of the last things where, for a long time, Arthur C. Clarke and Isaac Asimov and all the old sci-fi writers, the things that they predicted became reality, much in part because they wrote about it, and people were like, "Oh, that's something that'd be really cool to have," and they were able to eventually invent it because it was reasonable sci-fi.
Right.
Teleporters and stuff, maybe someday, but there's going to be a lot of caveats to it. But space flight and rotating things to give artificial gravity, and there's all kinds of things that
Mhm.
we have done possibly because they were written about. And I think that VR stuff is probably one of the last remaining things that we're approaching that I think we're really going to get. Now, the nerve connected stuff, maybe. I'm not really sure about that. At least being able to do nerve output, that's
Right.
pretty reasonable because we have that, right? Prosthetic limbs
Exactly.
hook up
And I
to
was
your
going to ask
nerves.
you about that.
Yeah, you can now. Basically most of the limb movement is pretty macro, right? Like you can open a fist, you can close a fist, you can bend at the wrist, you can do some major movements, but there's not a whole lot of micro management of the nerve endings.
Right.
So I don't know how close we're going to be able to get in reality.
Mhm.
And I don't know how much we're going to be able to do feedback to do nerve input to the body,
Right.
where the computer actually stimulates you to make you think that you're actually feeling something. I'm not sure if we're going to get there. I mean, if we ever get a better grasp of the way that the brain works and exactly how memories are formed and all that kind of stuff, then we've got a chance. And I think eventually we'll get there. But it's not going to be for a while, and it's really delicate.
Yeah.
It worries me a little bit because, for example, they've shown that, at least we think right now, that when you have a memory, say the first time you ever watched some TV show, say the Batman animated series. So I think we've all seen that. When you think about that, you basically recall that memory and you bring it out of your long-term memory and into your short-term memory.
Right.
Then, when you stop thinking about it, it basically re-encodes into your long-term memory, but the encoding of that can be messed up and flavored by what was going on when you remembered it. So it's not like you make a copy of that old memory and then that memory is preserved. So like we're talking about that show right now. If you think of some particular episode and you can't remember a detail, but someone brings it up, then when you encode it back, you might get that detail, and next time you remember it, you'll remember this conversation.
Yeah.
And then you'll have that detail. But it might go the other way. Like when you remember it, someone might say the wrong thing, you'll kind of get a corrupted version of that memory into your memory. And the next time you want to talk about it, you're not really going to remember it. And that's kind of how people that compulsively lie, Like
Yeah.
they'll tell the same story so many times, a lie, that it goes into their memory, and they really think they did it, and they can't remember that they made it up anymore.
Yeah.
So our brains are pretty crazy, and until we really figure it out, I don't think that it's really safe to be doing that kind of stuff.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So
All right. Anybody else got anything they want to add here? No? Crickets?
I want my holodeck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're a ways away. Right. So, wow. We're going to hit pretty much an hour on the dot. But
quick, sign off.
I do want to thank you guys for showing up this week, as always. I hope to see you guys again next week as your host, as always.
You won't see me next
I
week.
am Shosan. Well, yeah. Anyway,
We'll hang up a
all right.
picture of you.
Ah, okay, thanks. Appreciate it.
Right? We'll just put that up. We'll just talk to a wall. All right. So I am your host, Shosan. With me, of course, is Mr. Pantherian,
See you.
Mr. Vegito,
Go fuck yourselves. But thank you.
JJ.
indeed, Mr. Brockspiegel,
Hey, it's about time for me to go back to Groundhog Day the game.
right? Hey, oh shit. And of course, again, I am your host, Shosan. Finally, Mr. Ron Klee.
Mr. VJJ, you can go fuck yourself.
Indeed.
Someone's got to
So-
talk back to him.
With that,
Might as well
Ron,
be me.
What am I, like some sort of horrible user interface that only insults will vary?
Yes.
Pretty
I have no idea
much,
what
yeah.
you said,
Yeah.
but yes.
it's
Word's good.
unanimous. So, finally, Ron Klee, take it away.
See you, bye.